All right, so when you want to transfer an image from a piece of paper, best thing you can do is start by shading the back. I can see the edges of my image, so I'm making sure that I shade the entire back of my image. Right here, see how I scribbled and I have white space in between there? That is the wrong way to do a transfer. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over it and make sure you are getting the entire area. Now you don't have to press as hard as you can. That's unnecessary. Just give yourself a nice shade like this. I'm going to flip my paper over because I want a nice clean piece ready to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to zoom in so you can see the details that I'm going to emphasize. So on my little frog here, I am going to be working on emphasizing certain details. So number one, you see those little white areas where the white of the paper shows through? You don't want to draw on top of that. You can outline it though. So what I want to do though is the way we make white areas stand out is all the dark areas around it. Those white areas, let them be white. The areas which are dark, like this portion of the frog, let that be dark. So, important things to look at here. On my frog, there are lots of highlights in his eye. It's important that you outline those details. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with the eye. And I'm going to try to not draw in the areas where I have white. See right here, that little white outline? That's an important thing to leave. So I'm going to go to the outer edges here. And there's like a little, it looks like a texture, but really it's details in his eyes. And it's not a perfect straight line. Now I'm just going to lift up my paper a minute so you can see what I've done so far. You can see that white outline, okay? You want white areas to remain white. Light areas, you want it to be light. So I'm going to start by just working on some of the darker areas. There's a little reflection right here, and I'm making sure that I have an outline so I don't forget about it. Even though part of it is darker and part of it is lighter, I'm going to outline it and try to show the details that I see. Sometimes your eyes don't understand what you're looking at. That's okay, no problem. Try to draw kind of what you see. And what you see is many different details that what you see is many different details that you want to emphasize. Oh, I just realized that nobody got a piece of tape. So if you would like to, you come on up and get yourself a piece of tape so you can tape down your paper. This area that's really dark black and has absolutely no information in it, I'm going to shade it. Some parts of it are light, a little bit lighter right in here. So I'm going to lift up my paper so everyone can see. So I want you to be able to see here some, there's the paint's back there.
I see it.
You're good, you're good, you're good. There are some really tiny details in his eyes. There's some lighter areas and some darker areas. So I'm just gonna lift up my paper so you can see. The only part that I did shading for was the really dark black solid area. Now I'm just going around and I'm outlining the areas where I see different, what it looks like textures, honestly. But it's not really texture, it's just, it's different color changes in his eyes. All right, so that's a good start for today. Now you can see the textures that I have transferred, and then I will continue some more next time.